Madam President, I wonder if it would be
Senator from Tennessee.
It would be appropriate if I were to ask the senator from Utah a question, if he would take the question.
Without objection.
This has been a rather confusing week, I know. I don't think ever in the history of the Senate have we had a 21-hour filibuster, and then the persons carrying out the filibuster voted for the issue they were filibustering. I don't think that's happened in the history of our country, and I just want to make sure I understand. I was just over at the House and talked to members of leadership there, and they would like to get the piece of legislation from the Senate over there as quickly as possible so they could respond. Now, I think all of us on this side would like to see some changes to the CR, changes that we believe to be good policy. And over on the House side, we have a majority of Republicans, and I know that they would like to send back to us some changes that I think many of us would support. Now, in talking earlier with a senator from Texas, it's my understanding that the reason you don't want to send a bill over to the House who could possibly put in place some very good policies for us here is that you want the American people and the outside groups that you've been in contact with to be able to watch us tomorrow. And so it would seem, I'm just asking the question, is it more important to the senator from Texas and the senator from Utah that the people around the country watch this vote, or is it more important to us that we have a good policy outcome from our standpoint and actually have a body that has a majority of Republicans to be able to react and send back something of good policy? This is confusing to me because I know the leadership there wishes to be able to respond as quickly as possible, but I'm understanding the reason we're waiting is that y'all have sent out releases and emails and you want everybody to be able to watch, and it just doesn't seem to me that that's in our nation's interest, nor is it candidly in the interest of those who want to see good policy on the conservative side come out of this CR. I just wondered if you might respond to that.
Madam President.
The senator from Texas.
Since the senator from Tennessee has made reference to me, I would ask for unanimous consent that I might engage in a colloquy with the senator from Tennessee and the senator from Utah.
Is there objection? Without objection.
Madam President.
Is there objection?
We need time. If there's a reasonable time, I'd be happy to do it, but there's not going to be another performance by anybody here this afternoon.
For how long do the senators wish to engage in a colloquy?
I cannot imagine it would extend beyond 10 minutes.
Is there objection to the request?
No.
Without objection.
Madam President, I appreciate the senator from Tennessee's comments supporting the majority leader. And I know the senator from Tennessee,
the House of Representatives.
I know the senator from Tennessee is learned on Senate procedures, so that I know that he must have made a misstatement when he moments ago suggested that those of us who participated in the filibuster the other day somehow changed our position in voting for the motion to proceed. And the reason I know the senator from Tennessee is mistaken is because during the course of that filibuster, I explicitly stated I support the motion to proceed. I stated that a week before the filibuster repeatedly. I have always stated that the vote on the motion to proceed, the vote on cloture to motion to proceed, was going to be unanimous. Indeed, I would note that I offered a unanimous consent during that filibuster that we vitiate the cloture and all agree to proceed, because everyone in this chamber, I said I expect the vote will be unanimous, everyone in this chamber wants to proceed to this bill. Now, the senator from Tennessee, being learned in Senate procedure, knows that there's a big difference between that vote on Wednesday, which I might note, when the vote tally was down there for Republicans, I put my, not only did I vote yes early, but I put my recommendation for every Republican to vote yes. Because of course we should get on the bill. The vote tomorrow on cloture on the bill is a very different bill, and I know the senator from Tennessee is quite aware of that. The vote tomorrow is a vote to cut off debate on the bill. And so, as I said during the filibuster 2 days ago, as I have said for weeks, it is the vote tomorrow, cloture on the bill, that matters, because anyone voting tomorrow in favor of cloture is voting in favor of granting the majority leader the ability to fund Obamacare. And I know my friend from Tennessee understands that, so I'm sure his statement suggesting that the vote on the motion to proceed meant anything other than what it obviously meant, I know that was a statement in error.
Well, actually, I appreciate this opportunity. What we have before us is a bill that defunds Obamacare. It's the bill that the House has sent over. So you're right. Tomorrow's vote is a vote to end debate in support of exactly what the House of Representatives has sent over. That is a confusing thing to a lot of folks, but you're exactly right. The House has sent over here policy that I actually support, and that is defunding the health care bill because of the damage that it's creating to our country. I wish the CR number was a little lower. I wish it was at 967 instead of 988, but that's exactly right. And so we're going to be cutting off debate on a bill that the House Republicans have sent over to us. So you're exactly right, and that's an important vote. And that is a vote in support of the House. Something in addition, supporting the House would be getting whatever we're going to do back over to them so that they are not jammed. But it's my understanding, again, relative to this vote tonight, happening tomorrow instead, is that my two colleagues, who I respect, have sent out emails around the world and turned this into a show, possibly, and therefore they want people around the world to watch, maybe them and others on the Senate floor, and that is taking priority over getting legislation back to the House so they could take action before the country's government shuts down, and by the way, causing them possibly to put in place, again, some other good policies. I yield.
I appreciate my friend from Tennessee's comments. And I would note that he suggested that this is confusing, and I guess I don't think it's all that confusing. The senator from Tennessee says that a vote in favor of cloture is a vote in favor of the House bill and in favor of defunding Obamacare. If that's the case, then the question I would pose to my friend from Tennessee: why is Majority Leader Harry Reid going to vote the same way you're proposing to vote? Why is every Democrat in this chamber going to vote the way you're proposing to vote? If this is a vote in favor of defunding Obamacare, is it the senator from Tennessee's suggestion that the Majority Leader and the Senate Democrats are confused about this vote?
Well, I would respond that after a 21-hour filibuster yesterday, you voted in favor of the thing you're filibustering, and Senator Harry Reid joined you in that too. So it seems to me that they're very similar.
Does the senator from Tennessee dispute that the vote Wednesday was a vote to take up the bill, whereas the vote tomorrow will be a vote that will do two things if there are 60 votes? If enough Republicans cross the aisle, join Majority Leader Harry Reid and the Democrats, it will, number one, cut off all debate, and it will, number two, what makes the vote tomorrow so significant is the Majority Leader has already filed an amendment. That amendment guts the House continuing resolution and funds Obamacare in its entirety. And given that that amendment is pending, and if cloture is invoked, that amendment can be passed with 51 votes, does the senator from Tennessee disagree that once cloture is invoked, Harry Reid, the Majority Leader, will be able to fund Obamacare with 51 votes?